Hey there, I'm Ashley, and this is New Day with Ashley. If you're looking for inspiration to make a difference and create lasting impact, then you're in the right place. Get ready to be encouraged by the stories of my guests who have taken risks, overcome challenges, and created opportunities. It's time to make the most of your new day. My guest today is a results-driven visionary leader who specializes in business strategy and program development for women-owned businesses. Christy Dauer is Executive Director of the North Dakota Women's Business Center. Christy is an excellent relationship builder and cheerleader who equips and motivates women business owners statewide to achieve success and create impact.
One of the things that, our organization built during COVID was a tech platform called the library. And it's a virtual library with free resources and a lot of really great content, and it's free, right? And so just seeing, kind of watching that unfold, and even the incredible growth we've had of users. And so just trying to, make sure that we provide content that's both relevant and accessible across the state.
Right. Yeah. Across the state. I'm glad you said that again, because it's not just our Fargo community.
Right. Yes.
And like you just came back from Bismarck.
Yeah.
And I think all these other communities are really growing.
The growth is incredible. Even just in Fargo here, right? There's no, between West Fargo and Horace, there's really not a difference anymore. There's businesses popping up and people realizing their dreams every day.
Right. And I think, you being from here also, you remember when there were certain gravel roads and
roads. I know. And now there's like businesses and houses and all kinds of developments.
Yeah.
So, fierce lover of this community, fierce lover of the state.
Yeah. Do you have any favorite stories of any of the women that you've helped?
So our clients are confidential,
right?
But, all kinds of them.
Sure.
Where do you want me to start?
Several, yes.
One of our favorite things was my teammate Kayla and I started our own podcast during COVID, Strong Women, Strong Coffee. And, I could go back and there was favorites we did that for we ended in December of 2021. Okay. We just kind of sunset it for a while. And, I could pick out every single one of them has fascinating stories.
Because I remember you would do that. Was it live on Facebook too?
It was Facebook Live.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was fun. And, I'll even go back every once in a while and kind of relive a couple of those things like, hey, what are those tidbits? Because when you take the opportunity to learn, from your peers and from others, I think that's just that there's magic in that. Like how can I support you? How can I walk alongside of you and really, provide a service that's relevant?
Well, I think especially as women, it's like we're not competing.
That's a big one.
There can be that.
Yes.
But we're here to encourage and lift one another up, whether or not we are actual competitors or not. We can still be a cheerleader for each other.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And there's power in that, right, Ashley? Like, I think that, this state has so many resources. So in our nonprofit, we have resource partners. So, hey, you don't have to like everything that, we suggest, but there are plenty of other resources and resource partners for you to, get your business started and grow your business. And another thing like I like to say is, you're about to enter the biggest purchasing decision of your life.
Right.
And so helping, make those informed decisions is vital to the success and building that strong foundation from the beginning. So you're not having to make decisions, as a business owner 2 years down the road, like, do I need to add staff or do I need to fill my fridge at home?
Right.
So,
yeah. What would be one of the biggest challenges you faced?
Lots.
Sure. So there have been some. Yeah.
Yeah. Cracking the code on capital for small businesses continues to percolate in every community. Like, how do I access capital? And, one of the biggest misconceptions, if I may, is essentially business owners will come to our team and say, how can I find a grant? And it's like, oh gosh, are there grants out for your business?
Sure.
Yes, there are. But again, if you don't build that in as a strong foundation from the beginning and you start depending on those very early stages on grants, then the next year you're going to have to look for another grant because you're depending on those initial, that initial funding to come from a grant. And so we started a series called Funding Friday that our team puts together. And so every Friday we release both on our website and our social media different funding opportunities for, kind of that starting seed fund or, USDA rural programming for your community. And so the biggest, like I said, the biggest probably challenge is the capital piece.
Sure.
And just access to those resources.
Yeah. But that's neat that you guys are doing a lot of the groundwork too.
Yeah.
To help these women.
Yes.
Navigate starting their own business, because that's hard in itself.
Well, and another big misconception, if I may, is always like, oh gosh, it'd be so great to own my own business. And it is. There are some really cool things that business owners, especially, women, are going into business to do for themselves.
Sure.
And build that, personal freedom, financial freedom, et cetera. But, again, I like to break down that misconception of it isn't a linear line.
No.
It certainly is the ups and downs, and how do you build a cash flow that can help you level out, right? And so you're not always kind of, the ups and downs. And if you have a seasonal business, which a lot of North Dakota businesses are, seasonal, and how do you manage both sides of it, right?
I was listening to a podcast actually on the way here, and she was talking about people leaving their 9-to-5 to start their own for this freedom. Mm-hmm. However, initially, what people don't realize is that's not free at all. Or, there's no freedom. It's even more work initially. And it can be for, 5 years.
Yeah. Well, and I'm sure you found that too, right?
Yeah.
Like that, essentially, is this for freedom, or are you? And so I like to start with the why also, especially, when we're coaching, our business coaches are coaching small businesses. We'll ask, hey, what is your why? Let's start there. Are you trying to build something really fast to scale it, to bring, revenue from outside the state and, to your business? Or are you doing this because you just need, more of a lifestyle business, right?
Sure.
Hey, I want something on the side so I can have money to travel. And so people go into business differently, right? Yeah. And so really starting there so you can build, on that is a good starting point, right?
Right.
And so, leaving your 9-to-5, okay, great. What do you need to personally stay? And so always having that personal, your personal finances in check, then entering into business. And again, it can be some of the largest purchasing decisions you are making. And so making those informed decisions from the beginning is critical to the success of your business.
I like how you kind of compare building a business to like building a house, or I always thought it was like having a baby even. It's like, it is your baby.
It is.
Like your child, and you got to help it grow, and it takes a lot of time.
It does. And for our team, it's really hard to, poke holes in someone's baby.
Yeah.
Like, hey, have you thought about this? And that's tough, right? And that takes a toll,
right?
Especially, on the team as they're navigating these sometimes tough conversations. And a lot of people, don't come in until they're kind of in that trough of despair, right? Like, hey, this is the situation and I really need help. And but sometimes
wish I could have helped you
late.
Earlier. Before we got to this point.
So navigate
That's
those
tough.
Resources. They're there.
Right. So what would be one piece of advice or encouragement to someone who's maybe looking at starting their own business?
Get a mentor. And again, a shameless plug for all the resources right here in this community, within the state, and ask those questions and be open to the feedback, right? As a business coach, we value and appreciate your ideas, but then if you're also open to receive that and take that to heart, builds a strong foundation, right? And so getting those resources early so you can plan for what your ultimate goals are is just, I can't say that enough.
Right. Yeah. Wow. Well, thank you so much for sharing all your wisdom and some of your story too, of your journey into this and being such a great resource and cheerleader for North Dakota women's businesses.
Yeah. Thanks for having me, Ashley. This is great and a great platform for, all that you do. So thank you.
Yeah, well, thank you. Wow, what a great episode. Thank you so much for joining me. It's always so inspiring sharing these stories. To listen to the full podcast, go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or any of your favorite podcast platforms. Remember to like and subscribe. I would love if you could leave me a 5-star review. This helps us reach and engage with more people. Join me next week, and until then, make the most of your new day.